We're back, right? We're back. Thanks for joining us, y'all. No, I'm kidding. Okay, and we're back. Okay. So I know. Oh, so thanks, Delilah. Thanks for the 90s. Thank you so much for that. No, because I like the effects.
Do you love the Christmas? Do you love the Christmas? Wow. She's beautiful. Wow.
She is. That's her for real right now?
Yeah.
Damn, Delilah.
Do you like the sunny Christmas thing, the whole 30 days of Christmas?
You know what? It used to get on my nerves when I was younger because I'd be like, I
love it.
But now I'm just like, when I'll say it right now and I'm starting to notice it, Christmas is not a good time for me, which I'm starting to notice that during the holidays, there's a lot more people talking about that. It's just not a good because I don't have much family.
Do you know what I think it is?
What?
I think we put it has to be perfect. We have this expectation. I don't even think that. There should be you should have this type of home. You should live this type of way. And we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. Just enjoy it.
Did you see my last year's post?
No, what did you
It was Amazon packages still in the package that they deliver under the tree. Because I was like, I'm not gift wrapping anything. Good luck. I'm like, here you go. Here you go. I'm done. Yeah. But no, now whenever I feel overwhelmed, I'll put the music on and it helps. It really does.
I love it.
It helps. And then, but I like the old school music.
Okay.
Like the, what's
retro?
the one? The retro, yeah. Which
retro.
one is it from? George Michael, rest in peace. Was it Last Christmas? Yeah, that one. Yeah. I like that one.
I'm so my age. I love any kind of 80s music right now.
I'm into that right now.
I love it.
So on Spotify, you can do it on YouTube too in Pandora. If you just type in Música de Señora.
I have my own little playlist. I can share you. Yeah.
Is it Música Señora, Señora de Música?
No, Música Señora.
Música Señora. And then they put that, there's that one that she's hitting it big. God, I can't think of the words right now and then they're in Spanish too. But like, como La Maldita Primavera, that one's badass. That one kicks butt. Yeah, from Yuri. Is it Maldita Primavera?
Oh, Yuri. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's one from, is it Nada Miguel?
Timbiriche. Luis Miguel.
Yeah, no, Luis Miguel and then Cris and Castro. The other day, I didn't realize that Luis Miguel, I had the wrong song with the wrong singer because I can't talk about that right now because that's going to have to be from their deep. You know what? We should do a deep dive of the 80s.
But listen, when you come in for a reading, if you hear music in the background, it's probably 80s.
It was. You know what you had on? You had Rocío Dúrcal.
Yeah.
And which one is it? Rocío Dúrcal, the one, she was friends with Juan Gabriel, and she sings Gato Bajo la Lluvia. Yes, and we're going to go see Ana Gabriel.
Did you see the TikTok during Halloween with the Gato Bajo la Lluvia costume? It was so hilarious.
No.
Loved it. There was a guy.
Wait.
Who was dressed like a cat and had an umbrella.
The 2006 song from Belanova.
Which one?
Yo no puedo ser esa mujer. You know that one?
Doesn't ring a bell. I'm
sure
I've heard it.
And it's this guy, he's like dressed up as Satan and he's like, Alexa, reprodúceme la canción más metálica satánico. And it's Rosa Pastel. Is it? No. Rosa Pastel. And then it starts off that song and it's like, a huevo. And I'm like, that's badass. Like, it cracks me up. So I do.
Social media is so entertaining. It's so cool.
You think it's entertaining? I find it interesting, but it's therapeutic too. Because when you have a rough day, you're like, you watch stuff like that and it cracks me up. I'm like, okay, I feel so much better because my life was in shambles.
Yeah.
But like, there's a couple of people I follow you. Definitely.
Listen, Eric's like, are you ever going to post anything? Hello.
No, I do. No. I'm always looking. And then somebody was looking at her reels, but I don't. We'll talk about that off because I think that one's a scammer.
Oh, okay.
I think somebody's like imposter and trying to follow us for something.
Oh.
Yeah, but who's that? I'm trying to see who that is. Let me see. Who's that?
I don't know who that is.
I don't even know. Oh, Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, I love her. She just graduated from TSU. Texas University. Thank you. No, I was going to bring something up about her, but I'm going to go to that in a minute because I follow her Instagram. Okay. I love her Instagram post.
Okay.
I love Megan Thee Stallion. She's very positive too at times. I know people are going to come for me for that one, but I'm down for that, and I can't hold anything against her because
I feel like I don't know a lot about her, but remember I mentioned she on visual.
Yes, this is why we have
there's a lot of heartache behind her, and I feel like I'm tough. I can handle this. Watch me. But there's a lot of heartache behind it. She's been through a lot emotionally.
Well, I'm going to drop names again, and I'm going to say it again, and people don't like that. I'll say and I don't like saying TSU because there's no school that goes by that name. Texas Southern University teaches you to be tough because they know what you're fighting up against. But I also went to U of HD, but that's a whole different story. So what I was going to bring up is I follow, and I recommend for you to follow him. His name is the Cris Garces on Instagram. Love him to death. I even told him, I was like, hey, can we like do some type of, I'm like, I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to mention you. He's like, do it. So I'm really excited about that.
So tell me about him. What is he? What does he do?
He's Ecuadorian and he's in the healthcare. He works in the healthcare industry. Okay. He cracks me up. And what I love
Is he the one that curses at you And it's talking about the emergency room experiences. Am I thinking someone else? Very
no,
thin?
I think no.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I love him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Do you follow him?
No, I don't.
You need to follow him. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm only saying this because I really like. And there's another guy, and I'm so sorry. I'm gonna tag you on this, so don't think I'm trying to, and I'll be honest, it's imposter syndrome because I don't want to feel like I'm trying to steal or grab from their attention, their thunder.
Right.
But there's another guy from San Diego. His name is Nicholas. I like him. Nicholas, and I like the Cris Garcia.
Is he very creative, this guy?
Yes, but I'm gonna tell you right now, he replies back to your messages.
Okay, cool.
Like if you comment on stuff, he replies back, and I think that's good because there's other people that they just ignore you. I don't know if they sold it off and they have a publicist that handles it,
right?
But I like that he's hands on.
Okay,
because I think we would both be hands on.
Right.
Like if people message you,
absolutely.
I've seen you. They message you and you reply back.
I do.
Hey, so let's go back to that. I want to talk to you about that.
What's up?
You said, and I'm gonna go back to this. You were saying that our spirit guides. Would you ever teach a class on that? Would you? Because I feel like I have an intuition, like a gut instinct. I call it gut instinct. But I'm always wondering, like, would you ever teach people how to be better at that? Like, what can you offer?
I would love to.
How would the class be?
That would be, I guess we would just sit down and talk like you and I are speaking at this moment and, kind of go back and forth with each other and just explain what works for me and come from my perspective from the spiritual side and how you can use your tools. And this is the thing with when I'm doing a card reading, because I get asked all the time when I have someone that's come for the first time.
Okay, but
how often should I do it?
But how often for card readings? How often? Number two,
because you know what it is.
Como son, like
I feel like they want to hang on to me. Like wait, don't. I'm not, and I want to push you on your own. I want you to come back to me when it's necessary to double check on stuff. But I want you to go off.
You see why I block you? But now you see why I block you? Wait, why are you laughing?
Just laughing at you.
No, but why? What'd you say earlier?
What did I do?
Did I push you away?
Yeah.
But you see why I block you?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to give you that because
But you overthink it.
I overthinking because I'll be honest, I'm the type of person I know when to respect people's space.
Okay.
Oh, I feel like I keep moving around too much. Mike, I'm sorry, producer Mike, am I moving around too much? A little bit? Okay, I know because this time we don't have a table, so I don't have that safeguard.
I'm like the perfect. He's basically saying that I'm doing really well. And
yes, and I'm flailing at this. I'm failing at this, guys. I really am. Today I am, but it's good. It's a new set.
I'm the youngest of four. Can you tell? I'm just like the little one.
Really?
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
I was the youngest, but I was the one that had to be the most maturest.
Oh.
Like, and again, and I hope that people understand in the Hispanic culture.
Okay.
I was a little kid, even though I had older siblings, I was a little kid that would have to go help and translate.
Wow, I remember that.
Yeah.
I would do that too.
My dad.
I would write checks. I would sign checks.
Dude, tell me. Okay, yeah. Now I'm getting more comfortable because I'm like slamming my hand on the. Sorry if you hear that in the microphone, but yeah, I was the one that had to write the money orders.
Yeah.
And I would always get confused with money orders, and I would have to do the money orders, and then they would beat your ass if you got the money order. You wrote it wrong. Let me just say that right now, you will get a beating con el cinto, no ni chancla.
My mother never beat me, but my mother was very, very impatient.
Yes.
I unfortunately can be very impatient like her, but she was very impatient, and she would get upset with you if you couldn't figure it out.
Yes. No, same thing. Yeah, I'm the same way. I get impatient if something can get done.
And listen, as an adult, I'm like, I love the fact that I'm being shamed when I'm helping you with the lane.
Can I tell you something I think now because of the whole them being impatient?
Let's see.
It's that, and I've noticed this in my life now at my 34 years of age, which is not true, but we're going to go with that. Know that when someone new around my life is like, oh, if they're going through an experience.
Right.
And they're like, oh, I asked and they said yes. And I'm like, no. You have to be more detailed.
Right.
Like, for example, if someone's like, yeah, the social services, they're going to call me back.
Well,
when are they going to call you back?
I see what you're saying.
Who's going to call you back? Did you get a number? Did you get an extension? Did you get an email address? Are they going to call you back for the light bill? Are they going to call you back for the water bill? Or is it going to be for the emergency assistance? I get like that because I've had to deal with that from my mom and dad. Because my dad, when I was very young, he suffered a horrible on-the-job accident.
Okay.
And so I was the one that was like, I missed school so many times. And I just want to say thank you for the teachers.
I have to interrupt you. Who was the mom around your father that he was really close to? Was it his mother or grandmother?
It was his mother.
When he was in that horrible accident, they showed me that she kind of came through. So she was around him.
Oh, then that was his grandmother. The thing is that his grandmother and his grandfather, they lived up to like 109.
Wow.
But they were I want to say indigenous. They were Apaches. I think that's Native American, right?
You know for sure what they were? I'm so jealous.
No, yes, because my dad, before he passed away, we were always like, ¿por qué te dicen el Apache? ¿Por qué te dicen el Apache?
Because of his origin. That's amazing.
And he was like, because they were like real dark skin and they had the bluest eyes. and they had the long white hair with the trenzas, you know, with the braids. And my dad, at 50, didn't have any gray hair. My mom, on the other hand,
had gray.
German, she was graying real quick. She went from red to gray like in a span of like 1 month.
One time we were in Cancun, and they speak different dialects.
Yes, they do.
And there was a little shop, a little corner shop, very humble shop. There was an older lady and a young girl. I related to her because she was translating for her grandmother in their dialect. And I was purchasing some items, and the older lady was kind of quietly telling the granddaughter, and I could tell her body language, her demeanor felt a little intimidated for whatever reason.
Penosa?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I said I was directing myself to the grandmother. The granddaughter was translating, and I could tell she would smile and cover her mouth and do all this sort of stuff. And I didn't love it because that's just what I'm an empath. And I told after I purchased the items, I told the granddaughter, I said, "Can you tell your grandmother that I am so jealous that she still speaks her dialect?" And I said this to her. I said, because look at my physical appearance. I have very similar traits to you, and I don't speak my dialect, and I don't even know where I come from. That lady beamed.
Can I tell you something?
I said that.
That sucks because I agree with you because I don't know what Apache spoke.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I just know it's Spanish because I know that my family's from like New Mexico, North Mexico.
Oh, and
they're from there.
And I love, you're talking to the wrong, I love like rituals they do.
Really?
They do a lot of offerings.
Yes,
I love offerings.
Yes.
Oh my God. You should see me on these trips. I drive my family crazy.
There's a crazy story I can tell real quick. Story time. No, someone was giving me ojo. You know how usually they just give you the red bracelet?
Okay.
Well, my dad.
Okay, I have to ask you, why do y'all love the red bracelet?
No, it didn't happen to me. I'm just saying.
Why
like
does everybody love the red bracelet?
I don't know, because they call it ojo de venado or something like that. Remember
ojo
they give
de
them to
venado
the babies?
For the babies, yes.
Yeah, okay. So,
but you know how everyone wears the red bracelets?
I think that's a Kabbalah thing too. It's like evil eye or something like that. Okay. Pero, so alguien me hizo ojo, and then my dad just took me from Nuevo Laredo to Nuevo Laredo. And my grandma she didn't do the red bracelet thing. She did some kind of thing with fire, and she did stuff backwards, and she was using her native language tongue. Let me tell you, whoever did something to me, le fue muy mal, en serio.
It was gone.
Le fue muy mal la señora.
Wow. I believe it.
Yeah. Oh no, so again, sorry. Your readings. Let's go back. We gotta go focus. We're always jumping off. By the way, is she looking good on camera? Mike? Okay, no, because I feel like your eyes are centered over here towards me, and I feel like it's missing the camera. Okay, no, pero me gusta. I like it. Don't get me wrong, because it's centering me. It's calming me down.
Okay.
I feel like I'm more calm now, but now I feel like I'm just jabbering away with you. So when they say your readings, and I know we were saying this before, because and I'll say this to everyone. Yes, we are new. I am new to podcasting. Yes, me and Julie are trying. But I will say this: we're
not trying. We're doing.
We're doing it, but give us some leeway because we're learning.
Yes.
And one thing I do like to say is I like originality. I like someone that comes in with a natural personality. I don't want someone who's not who they say they are. And so we just meet up for like 10 minutes, and thankfully it was over the phone. And we just go, okay, this is what we're going to talk about, talking points, and we're going at it.
You know, I'm smiling because it's so cute. And a lot of people that I see. Well, like old school, they'd come into the shop and I'd see. Now I do a lot of phone, a lot of audio text.
Yeah,
where
that's
I just
what I was
send
going to ask.
Okay. And this is the funniest thing. Sometimes they'll come into my shop in Houston, and I always get a double look, like, "Oh, you're Julie," and I always listen. Part of me, the part of me is like, "Oh, maybe they're like, oh, she seems so nice," and then part of me, I'm thinking like. Were they like, oh, I'm glad I didn't see you.
No, you know what? Can I just say something right now? And I'm going to cut you off, but I want you to stay right there.
Yes.
We need to start name dropping ourselves because it's our podcast, right? Okay. So, all right. So I am the one crispy bacon, and you are?
Lecturas and Readings by Julie.
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
So when they come and they see you in person, they're like,
I always
that's
get
you?
a double look. It's so cute.
Why? Como? Like,
well,
how?
That's what, I have one young girl, there was I have a lot of female customers. Yeah, she came in and I said to her, hi, I'm real. Nice to see you. I love seeing you in person.
Can I say that? It happened with me with you.
Did it really?
Because when my friend who passed away and referred me to you that for the very first time.
Yes.
When she was telling me everything about you, she made it seem like you're like this. Like, what's her name from the one from The Matrix? The Oracle, like, some grand old person with a lot of wisdom. And then when I walked in, I was like, she's just like me. Yeah. I was like, she's just like me. We're the same age. We kind of are the same age, practically. We're both in our 30s.
I'm older, so you need to respect me.
We're in our 30s.
I'm older than you, so
well, you're 4 years older than me in our 30s. That's all I'm going to say, and we're going to stick with that, okay?
Okay.
But yeah, okay, so I notice I'm moving around a lot. I need to stop.
That's okay.
I need to slow down because I feel like my words are tripping, and I'm moving around a lot.
You're doing good.
Thank you. You're centering me. You know, te estoy diciendo la verdad. Mirándote los ojos me está calmando, ¿eh? En serio.
Good.
All right. So, cuando te piden las leídas, the readings.
Yes.
Tú haces, because I know you always tell me there's a 1 spread, a 2 spread.
Right.
Would you ever do a 5 spread?
How does that go? Can I scare you?
Scare me.
I had someone, and I had her for years. She would do 10 spreads. So, yes, I would come out. The best explanation I can tell you is I was jello at the end of that. My brain was shot. So I offer, my readings start at 2 spreads. And I call my spreads the laying out of the cards.
And do you mind saying the price?
No, not at all.
Okay,
so my
ahead.
phone and audio text readings are $60 for 2 spreads. And my video and in-person are $90 for 2 spreads.
Okay.
And I can add additional spreads. I'm not going to sell you on it. I'm not going to say, you know, it's going to start at this, but then at the end, because I've had people tell me about other readers where they go in, and then all of a sudden it's like a $300 reading, and they were told it started at $60. No, I'll be extremely clear with you, and I'm not going to try to sell you more what you need. And I even stop y'all sometimes, like, okay, I think this is good. I think that, you know, we should stop here, because I know sometimes we want more and more. But yeah, I lost my train of thought.
No, you were saying the spreads, and that some people are like, that was up to 10 and it drains you. And that's nothing. You see why I tell you that when I do refer people over to you, this is why I sometimes, and I think I tell you this before when we do podcasts, I'm like, I don't want people to drain you. Because for me, like when I do bookkeeping on the side.
Yes.
And when I'm doing bookkeeping for the One Crispy Bacon, I'm exhausted at the end of the night when I'm having to run Excel and numbers and everything.
Right.
And I'm like, I could just imagine you that's
it's a lot.
Your work.
It's
that's your line of work. You're going to be like, I'm done for the day.
And let me say this. I would suggest if anyone's listening to this, if you want to book a reading with me, amazing, contact me. I'd love to have communication with you. But if you are having a reading with someone else, or if you have a reader that you like to go to, or maybe you just like to go to different people, my suggestion would be just look at it like you're watching a movie. Just open up a little bit, relax. Don't do anything crazy. Don't fall into any pits where you're being guaranteed X amount of money, X amount of days, a magic solution. Use your better judgment is my suggestion.
And speaking of, and sorry, my ADD is really bad. My ADHD, it's ADHD. The pit, you said the pit. The pitch on Max is really good. If you're a healthcare worker, you're going to watch the show nonstop. You will binge watch that like crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. If someone that's not in healthcare, if they see the show, they'll just be like, oh, it's just medicine. But someone that works in healthcare, and I've worked in healthcare, when they start bringing up like protocol and everything, you're like, oh my God, this is what's going to happen next. Anyway, sorry.
You know what's really cool when you said healthcare? I have clients for years. I promise you, I sometimes don't know what they do.
It's difficult because I'll say this.
I don't ask them. I don't do any of the, where do you live? How car do you have? I don't. I just offer you a service.
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
I think, and I don't know if I'm wrong for this, but I've even noticed with physicians, not all the physicians, but RNs, especially RNs and LVNs and PCNs and CNAs, they're very humble.
Okay.
Because they can say, oh, I'm in radiology.
Right.
But I bet you that's that one person in the hospital that works for radiology or in transport.
Right.
They'll probably have somebody code on them, and they have to start giving CPR, and I think that really helps them, that centers them.
Right.
And a lot of them don't think about money because then they see what it is to keep a life alive.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
They're more worried about that than, oh, I got a $500,000 home. They're like, oh crap, this person's coding on me and I got to give them CPR and I got to make sure they make it to the gurney. You know, that's kind of a thing. So I'm so sorry. Okay. So you said you're willing to offer classes. Like, are you going to do like a class, like a set of 5 people,
I'm thinking
like a
workshop?
Okay, good.
I did a couple of workshops on WhatsApp, and that was kind of cool. And I had a few people in there, but I think I like to see the persons now, or maybe they can see me, maybe like on video or something. But whatever interests me is what I sort of kind of go with, wherever I feel guided. For instance, one of the workshops that I offered, I believe there were 10 people in it, if I'm not mistaken, on WhatsApp.
Was I in that one?
I don't remember, but it was a lot about negativity and how to manage negativity, meaning when you're consumed with jealousy, how can you work that jealousy into something productive for you? If you are consumed by depression, I'm not a doctor, and of course, if you need to see a doctor, you absolutely should. But if you're consumed by just being generally sad, how can we address those things? For instance, the entrance to your home is where your happiness comes in.
You do bring that up to me a lot.
It does. So it was interesting because I didn't want to just do the, let me tell you about your relationship workshop, or let me tell you what's going to happen for the zodiac. I wanted to, like, real stuff that bugs us. We get depressed, we get angry, we get frustrated, we get overwhelmed. Let's manage it. Let's talk about it. Let's go at it. What can I tell you or provide for you that can help you improve that situation in any way? It was interesting.
So, but wouldn't have people at your shop? I think that's a little dangerous, no?
The shop?
I mean, because of energies. And talking about the workshops, would you teach people how to cleanse amulets and create amulets? And let's go to amulets. That's a good question.
Yes.
So amulets, I know that there's always people buying in bulk, and then they'll say, "Oh, I'm gonna sell you this," because I know one guy I follow on TikTok, and he's always has stones. And I not that I respect him, but I do follow him.
Yes.
And I listen to what he says, that there's certain rocks. He's more of like a spiritualist with the piedras, with the rocks,
cool.
and he tells you this is this amulets. But I haven't seen him, so I hope he's doing okay. He's from Florida.
You have to send him to me. That sounds interesting.
Okay, but I hope he's doing okay because I haven't seen him. I don't know, my algorithm kicked him off. But I know that when people buy in bulk, and then they're like, "Well, I have 50 amulets of stones." What's the difference between that? Because I feel like, are they really putting energy? Because what is an amulet? Explain an amulet.
So generally speaking, an amulet is something that you carry that serves a purpose for you, either as a protection or something for good luck or something to attract something into your life, like a magnet, something positive. And I have to say this to you. I was going to say it after, but I'll forget. When you were talking about something early on, my spirit guides told me that you need to carry an amulet with 7 different metals.
Okay.
And, I remember you were talking about a man who was trying to pressure you to bring him some really expensive coin.
Yeah, and the $5,000, yeah.
Yeah, but I think you need to obtain 7 different metals and carry them as an amulet, and that to me represents success.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that after, but that's a great amulet for men, and keep it simple, like an old earring. A piece of genuine silver. Go to the, be creative. It'll take some time, but
in
it's
2 weeks, I'm about to have a big surgery. Should I carry? How do I carry all that with me? Because they always in surgery, they're gonna be like, "Don't have any."
No, you can have it in the waiting area. You're gonna have a bag there. And by the way, that's a good point. Amulets serve a purpose. We can absolutely change our amulets out. I hear, and that's one of the reasons I asked you about the red bracelets. People will come into my shop and like, I was told by so-and-so reader, my respects, maybe it's valid, never to take this off, never to do this, never to whatever. And then they come in, and I understand, I respect their opinion, but then they tell me, look, it's breaking. Well, how long have you had it? 3 years. Does that mean someone's doing work on me? Well, no, it's wear and tear.
Tell me that. How does somebody know they're doing work on them? That's a good question. We were going to talk about that too. How do you know que alguien te está haciendo un trabajo? Because I think that's more of...
It's not so simple as to just say someone's doing work on you. Does that occur? Absolutely, from my perspective. But people can actually send you negative intentions and not necessarily do a ritual, and it will affect you. For instance, someone being very envious of you, someone not wanting good things for you, someone judging you, someone transferring their unhappiness to you, that affects you. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That's why I always say when I do a reading, protect your space. When we do a cleansing, dust yourself from top to bottom. Anything negative that's been sent your way or that you may have obtained on you with your own mistakes as a human, we're a vessel. We want it to go away.
Speaking of that, and I'm going to jump back to the cleansings. Yes. You know how they always talk about the Ouija board? What's so scary? Do you know about the Ouija board?
Do I know the Ouija board?
Debunk it for me right now. Tell me, like, if I were to go to Walmart and buy the Ouija board.
It's a portal, just like we talked about.
That's
the
legit.
Internet.
That's legit. Not just like, the manufacturer made it and I can play with it.
For whatever reason, in my experience and from what I do, the Ouija board it's a portal. It is a vessel, and I do sense that it invokes negative energies.
Okay.
And life is not black and white. I know this may not be a little confusing. I'll try not to confuse you. But we are not always good, and we're not always bad. So some negative energies can actually serve a purpose for you if that's your decision to work with that. But in general, I would not recommend, if you're interested in knowing more about spiritual, no, the Ouija board is not the way to go.
Okay, so now cleansing. You always said keep the kitchen tidy.
Yes, kitchen represents your finances.
Oh, and that's another thing I saw on social media. Something about flushing a garlic clove in the toilet supposed to bring money, or money's a restroom. Is that true?
I've never heard that, but there's so many rituals. But remember, I'm very skeptical. I know that I do this and it may contradict it, but I would not flush a garlic into my plumbing. And
I know, because then I'll be like, oh, what? Like
I wouldn't.
I think like realistically, I'll be like, oh, it's gonna clog up. Then I'm gonna have the whole city of Houston coming in, the plumbing breaking down, and I'm like, you don't know how old your house is.
But let me break that down. Garlic for me is good luck and money and abundance. And maybe if you have to do something with the garlic, maybe you can cut it up, or maybe you can burn it, or maybe you can get rid of it in a public trash can that's not physically in the home.
Okay.
That could serve a purpose because we're flushing everything negative out. But garlic in general is for good luck and money. So I would probably do something with it prior to.
What do you recommend for someone that, and we've said this before, and I hope we don't sound like a broken record, but someone that just wants to really get out of a rut. Like, for example, right now, I'm sad.
Break it down.
We know why I'm sad.
They said to me, break it down.
Break down what?
Address each area. Like, am I mourning this? Is my finances this? What is my health situation? What am I doing today? What am I doing tomorrow? What do I need to do before the end of the month? Make sense? Mm-hmm. They said, break it down. Like, think of like a big pile of letters and let's put them in piles.
So decipher, break it down and conquer each one.
Yes, that would be my number one thing. And use all of your tools, all of your senses, including if you have a reading with me, or including if let's say you had a monthly reading that I offer the first week of the month. And maybe for that month, I suggested you light a green candle for finances and you haven't done it for whatever reason. There's nothing wrong if you don't do it. If you don't do it, it's not going to be doom and gloom.
Can I go back? I want to say this specifically for me, because I think we had this conversation away from the podcast.
Okay.
Because I was saying, you have your shop, you have your storefront,
right?
You sell really good. I see the merchandise that you offer. Mm-hmm. They're really good amulets. Mm-hmm. But why can't
I prepare amulets?
That's what I'm saying. You prepare them. Is that why you don't have 30 or 40 in bulk? Because you prepare them all separately?
Okay, so this is a twofold.
Break it down.
We've all, I've grown. I've been doing this for 30 years. I started off selling a lot of stuff that you could just mass purchase and sell. Mm-hmm. I've gotten to a point where I only like to recommend items that I like and that I use and that I believe in. And even if I have walk-ins looking for that mainstream item and I lose the sell, I'm okay with that. But I'd rather prepare an amulet. I'd rather, like for instance, for you, if you allow me, I feel like right now with the health, we need to really focus on health for you.
Yes.
So if I were to prepare an amulet for you at the moment, probably a lot of white. I'd have you put a clear glass of water next to your nightstand. Make sure I want you to have an image of an ancestor that you maybe have, and I know you're not going to like me for this, but I feel like you need a picture of your mother near you in your bedroom, but It can be placed in a drawer. It doesn't have to be out. The intention is not to upset you in any way. But my point is, your amulet should evolve with you based on your situation, and I'm not okay with people just ordering stuff online. Believe me, it's convenient.
Can I just tell you something?
Yes.
And I hope no one freaks out here in this room. There's like 5 of us in the room.
Okay.
The reason I don't like pictures of people in my room.
You don't want them seeing certain things?
Yeah, like what if I'm doing the hokey pokey and all of a sudden I'm like, hey mom.
Put them in the drawer.
Hey dad.
Put them up, yeah. But yeah, you have to be careful with stuff that you buy, Eric.
Sorry.
I hear it all the time. And you know the saying, lo barato sale caro?
That's very true. Y el flojo trabaja de dos.
And listen, I'm going to annoy you. I have people all the time contact me. And by the way, I'm flattered they're contacting me because I'm like, well, at least they're contacting me. At least they're keeping me busy.
At least you're getting out there. Any good press is, any bad press is good press. Any press is good press. But
people will message me and, show me, I bought this candle at XYZ. Why is it turning dark? Well, this is my job. I can guide you on what you purchased from me, or maybe we can work something out where I can guide you and you are paying for my time.
So going back to this, like I know you prepared the tree of life.
Yes. For abundance and money.
Yeah, but I also years ago that's only for women.
No.
And I've always been attracted to that. Like that calls my attention, the tree of life.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, we come from life or the earth.
It's funny you say that because the seven metals that I suggested for you, I like it for men, but anyone can carry it.
Really?
Yeah, but I like it for men. I also like for men, if you're open to it, I like men in their wallet to carry 3 images of 3 virgins. Any virgins, any saints.
Like religiously?
Yes, religious. Whatever you're drawn to.
Okay.
I like that. You're crazy.
I know.
Good luck fighting 3 virgins.
That's going to be on the Patreon side. No, I'm kidding. I don't even have a Patreon, but you're going to start up a Patreon, right?
You guys keep corralling me like, come on, do it.
Well, no, because I said on the monitor earlier, that's why.
Yeah, because he's trying to corral me to do it.
Okay.
Like you corralled me to do this podcast. You said, come on, do it.
Because I enjoy talking to you and I think it'll be fun.
I do too.
No, for real. No. So why don't you do the workshop on the Patreon?
Let's see.
Because that's them paying for it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just an idea. What do you think?
You know what? As long as it makes sense for me, because you have to understand, I'm blessed enough to have appointments booked, And in order for me to block a time off, to not get paid, it needs to be something that makes sense for me. I would believe me.
Well, thank you for being here then.
Listen, I wish I could afford to just wing it. I'm living the leisurely after work.
We all have to work.
Yeah.
You all got to make a living.
I know.
What else was I going to talk to you
about? And I like to work. Let me make sure that I'm clear. I love to work.
Me too.
Someone said to me, I can't remember who, but one of my clients said to me, oh, this is so sweet. And by the way, she's a tough nut to crack. She's like really, really tough and accomplished and polished. She lives in Florida. She's one of my regular clients that I'm so appreciative of. Maybe she'll see this podcast because I sent it to her. And I said, hey, listen, I want your honest feedback. And she said to me, okay. And the next time, she's tough. She said to me, Julie, I loved it. It was amazing. Just praise, praise, praise. And I said, okay, where do I need to improve? What do I need to change? What did you find helpful? And she said to me, she gave me all these amazing points. And then she said, wait a minute, at the end, so sweet. She said, wait a minute, you're going to get too busy for us. You're not going to be available.
But that's true. I feel the same way with you.
I am not going anywhere.
No, I feel the same way with you.
I'm not going anywhere.
And you know this because I keep it professional because for work, I reach out to you through Messenger. And then when it's personal stuff, I'm like last night I sent you something through your text message because I'm like, oh my gosh. No, but that's another reason why I think I do block you is because I'm always like, I'm like, she's probably busy or she's probably out vacationing, but also because I know what it is to be a self-employed person.
Okay.
And I know that we got to have our breaks.
Yeah.
One of us, like, at 9 o'clock and after 9 o'clock,
but you don't have to think for me. I can do that on my own.
No, I know. You can think for yourself, but I don't want to.
Just send it.
I would never want to do that to you.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
No?
No.
Why?
Because if I am busy or if I'm with a client and I don't respond or, it's late at night, I'll respond later.
Well, no, I do the same thing. Like if somebody texts me at 10 o'clock at night, work related about bookkeeping, I don't answer to the next day.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't have time right now.
Yeah. That's
because I'm going through the same thing, I'm courteous of other people's time as well.
Right.
That's why.
Makes sense.
So workshops, readings, cleansings.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Cuéntame.
Oh, my God.
We're running low on time.
You want more? You want more?
Oh,
more,
¿ya te
more?
cansaste?
No. I'm like
tired?
Workshops, readings, cleansings. I'm like,
well, we already said
there's only one of me.
We said the spreads.
Yes.
Well, you said you like working.
I do.
You did say you like working.
Do.
Okay. So you got the spreads. You were thinking about a workshop, maybe on Patreon. The spreads.
Cleansings that I already offer.
I've always wanted to ask you.
Yes.
What has been your most annoying reading?
Annoying reading?
Yeah, like someone's like, no, but he does love me. He loves me.
I'm gonna.
Or she loves me. She loves me. Do it again.
I get a lot of those. You know what? Okay. You know what really annoys me now that I'm 49 proudly.
39.
No, I'm not. I'm 49.
39.
I'm blessed. We're so blessed. Seriously.
I know you look good.
Okay, thank you. That's really why I say 49 because listen, I always get like, you look so younger. Oh no, really? No, keep saying.
Your hair is great. Your makeup's great. Your lips are great.
I appreciate you.
Has any client ever tried to hit on you?
Yeah.
I could tell.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not there. I'm not interested.
Do they ever slide their number?
No.
Like, oye, háblame después.
Oh, you're silly. No, I never get that. But listen, you know what I do since whenever I'm talking to someone or doing a reading, I just had a lady yesterday that came in and she was my last reading and she really wore me out. I can sense when you guys are holding back and I understand why you're holding back and they're testing me and like, is this lady BS? Is she trying to get info from me? Is she trying to spin it on me? So she was a little abrasive. She was not rude, but when I'm reading her, it feels to me like I'm driving in these big speed bumps and I'm going over the speed bumps. So I'm slowing down. I don't know why I didn't tell her yesterday, but normally I would tell them if I'm sensing it a lot. If you this is what I say to them, and I'm so sorry if it comes off harsh, but if you know me, you'll know where it's coming from. I will say to them, you're going to pay regardless, right? So you're out the money. Mm-hmm. So why not just open up and let's just see what comes of it?
I do the same thing.
Do you really?
Especially when it comes down to taxes.
Really?
I'm like, there's no way out of this. I'm like, either you're going to pay this with jail time, or fines and fees, or just pay whatever you owe. Yeah. Like, don't sit there and...
Like, let's stop wasting
let's create a miracle.
Time.
Yeah, like, this is it. I'm following ethics and rules, and legally, this is what you're going to owe.
Right.
Pay it or wind up going to jail, because I'm not gonna sign off on something. So.
But to go back to your question, the difficult ones are the persons that I'm sensing are blocking me, and I understand where it's coming from. They're second guessing. What's my edge? Mm-hmm. What am I trying to get at? Whatever. And then as I'm doing the reading, my spirit guides will tell me, and this is why you have to be careful with people who take advantage of others, because some of them are naturally intuitive, some of them are psychic, and they will use it it's like a leverage. They'll use it to manipulate you. So, for instance, like the lady that I saw yesterday, I sensed from her that she needs to hear something that there's no way of me knowing, so that she can relax and let me do it. And then I feel like the circus animal. I'm like, okay, let me grab my ball. So I did this all in my mind. Thank God I didn't say this to her. But I just said, okay, well, she needs to hear validity, so she knows I'm not BSing her. So I pointed out something about her child and her situation at home. Body language changed, and she starts opening up. Because in the beginning, I was getting a lot like, no, I don't really know what that is. And I try not to look at y'all, because y'all drive me crazy. If I look at y'all, I just kind of do my thing. I know when I'm doing a reading.
I know.
You know, because if I can't please y'all, and it's not a service to you.
I don't feel like I don't see it that way.
Okay.
I just see it like but you've always told me from the very beginning it's guidance.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting a miracle.
Right.
It's like, okay, I just need to be aware of what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. So I know we got like 7 minutes left. Mm-hmm. You told me to allow 3 to 5 minutes for emotions.
Yes, because you and I have been talking a lot, and I feel like I've been pulling at you. I've been, come back in line. Come, we could do this together. And I want to ask you something, and I feel like if I ask you here, where I have your professional, undivided attention, I can get it out of you.
Okay.
If you could talk to Eric 10 years ago, what would you tell that Eric? Think of all the stuff you've been through, the good or bad.
Okay. Oh, you're directing it at me?
Yes.
Oh, snap. Okay, me, Eric.
Yes. Okay. If Crispy Bacon can see Crispy Bacon in 2015.
In 2015.
What would you tell him? It doesn't have to be long and deep. It could just be like, hang in there. It could be like, hey, you're cool. What would you tell him?
You're going to see another day.
Okay.
And it's not, and you know, I was saying that, you know, I was planning on having another podcast with someone about mental health, but right now I can't deal with.
Okay.
I don't want to delve too much into mental health.
Right.
Because of the situations, and you know.
That's an interesting topic.
It is, but I think I need to discuss it with someone, and hubby was telling me, hey.
Like a professional?
Yes.
Excellent.
Someone that's licensed.
Excellent.
Because we can say something and someone's going to take it and just
run
with it and go
There's
off
a certain,
on the deep end. Correct.
Right.
It's a very finicky line there. But I think 2015, Crispy Bacon, Eric would be, am I going to live?
Mm-hmm. So what would you tell that Eric now?
We made it. We made it. Okay. We got and I know I don't want to cry, but and it's making me emotional. We got where we've fought, and we fought hard to get where we need to get.
Stop. Every time now, 2025, Eric, we're prepping, we're doing these exciting appointments, and we're
My weight loss journey,
looking amazing and making smart choices. I need you to say that to yourself.
I know. I'm beating myself up a lot.
We made it. The finish line. Think of, when you said that, I think of a marathon, and you're at the end. You're like, I don't know how the heck I did it, but I did it.
Yes. Yeah. And damn, you're right. I need to start saying that to myself.
Yeah, just to keep it simple.
So with the weight loss journey and everything, so I see a physician, and I'll say this right now, it's a specialist. And it's so you have two types of doctors. It's like, and I'm just using an example, psychiatrist and psychologist. Okay. Psychiatrist is like therapy and offer that. Psychologist just offers you medication. Okay. So I see a gist, but it's not for mental health. Okay. And she was looking at me, and she's like, and I said this to you in the car. She was like, you're getting healthier. And I was like, thank you. And you're right. Thank you for bringing that. We didn't discuss this. We just said emotions. Yes. I
asked you permission if I can bring that up, because I feel like you needed to hear it. But I feel like when you and I talk off, you're very like, Julie, are you okay? Do you need anything? You know, am I overstepping? You know.
Yes, because
I feel like now I wouldn't get that.
You wouldn't get that. No. Right now, yes, because 2015 Eric was very sick, and now I'm doing a lot better.
Excellent.
And I'm taking care of myself.
Our health.
I do. Yes, and this weight loss journey, it's not been easy.
Right.
But it's a journey,
right?
And I'm learning so much, and there's so much going on. In the next recent weeks, I'm about to have.
And I'll share this because women, we battle our weight all the time. I had weight loss surgery, and I look at it as I look great for where I am now. That doesn't mean I'm where I want to be, and that doesn't mean that I should not continue to improve. But I am content with the stage that I'm at now. And if something is not allowing me to be happy, then I'm working towards it. But each step, just kind of, and I encourage people to do that when you're going through really a big struggle.
Yes, but also I was going to say, for everyone in the room, I don't know if I'm being repetitive or not, but I will say this to anyone that's thinking about having weight loss surgery, and the journey. And I don't even think weight loss. I think the weight loss surgery is just a journey because people lose weight without having to go through the extremities that I've had to go through. Mm-hmm. The fact that our mind doesn't catch up to the body yet.
Right.
And that, like, I still have a hard time. I have shirts that I won't get rid of. They're 5X.
Right.
And just yesterday I found out I'm an XL. I'm a large.
Come from a place of kindness with yourself. That would be my suggestion.
I know. I beat myself up so much for it. I really do. I beat myself up. Or sometimes I'm like so hungry and I know I can't eat. I know I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry. All I can have is like 4 crackers and like 5 cubes of cheese and that's it. And, but oh man.
But enjoy the cracker. Enjoy the cubes of cheese.
I do. And I think my biggest issue growing up, and now the reason why I have now I'm thankful for the journey, is I'm learning now I had a very unhealthy relationship with food. Mm-hmm. I really did. I had
You were self-medicating.
I could really do a whole episode on this. Yes, I was self-medicating. It was either with emotions or boredom.
Right.
I was just eating and not realizing how much damage I do to myself. And I don't. But I will thank my lucky stars. I'm very thankful because every day I'm like, okay, I'm getting better. And it's not, and you do have to have the self-confidence inner and outward.
Right.
But I tell myself, wow, what was I thinking? When I look at pictures of myself, I'm like, what was I thinking? And I know what it was. I was compensating with food.
Right.
I was compensating a lot with food. And, and it was from little. And one thing I'm learning, and not that I catch myself, I'm going to rephrase that because I'll get canceled, is I don't judge people if they eat.
No.
Because the way I see it is, and people think that us, for doing the surgery, that we judge people.
No,
I've noticed that people come up to me and they're like, you're judging me because I'm eating this, right? And I'm like, no, fool, I wish I could eat that. Like, I wish I could have the burger with the triple, with the triple burger patties and the cheese and the bacon. Right. I can't. If I eat that, I'm going to be like, see, I'll be in the bathroom. I'll be, somebody's going to say I'm anorexic. But that's one thing. And the funny thing is, because I still look heavy set, we'll go to a restaurant and it's with anyone, not even with him, with you, with your son. People have seen it. You guys have seen it. If we order food, they always bring the bigger plate to me.
I haven't noticed it.
You've noticed it? They always bring, and I've noticed it.
I've noticed it, but I'll put it to,
it happens to you too?
No, but I think it would make me happy. I'd be like, bring.
No, because we were at the restaurant earlier, the one you recommended.
And they brought the big one?
They brought the big plate to him.
That's okay.
No, they brought it to me, and then they brought him the toast. And I was like, I'll just have the grits.
Eric, how do you know they're not like, oh, he's the boss.
No, I don't care about that. But okay, anyway, so we're ending the show.
Perspective.
Thank you so much for coming. I really enjoyed talking to you.
So we're going to continue these, right?
Yes, series? But can I tell you something?
Yes.
I was really nervous because of the new set. My lips were quivering. I was shaking, and I think I was trembling.
Right.
But the new set, okay, I just realized I had to tell myself, producer Mike is here. He's handling it. We went somewhere else. We weren't that happy. I won't even give them the energy, but thank you, producer Mike. And I'm going to give a shout out. Is it the Free Podcast Center? The Free Podcast Center. I'm going to give him a shout out. So comfortable.
Amazing, professional.
Just don't you dare book when I'm here because he's going to kick you off. He will kick you off.
You don't. We're just being polite. Don't call it.
Yeah, I know. And his tires will get slashed. No, I'm kidding. No, thank you so much. And then where can they follow you?
Social media sites at the bottom. WhatsApp me. Text me on WhatsApp.
And what is it called?
The Lecturas and Readings by Julie. The WhatsApp number is 713-702-3767. I respond myself. I check between my appointments, so send me a message. Please do not call me because I can't pick up. I'm sorry, but send me a message, send me a voicemail, we'll be good.
She won't answer and it gets on me. Sorry. But okay, but that's a whole different story. We'll talk about that after the camera. But no, and I am the one crispy bacon, and I'll have my links too on the website, on YouTube. I think it's right, YouTube. Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, everyone. We're nervous. Thank you. Bye.